What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to talk about a country that is very special to me. In fact, I'm in that country right now, and that country is called Brazil. Yes, in Portuguese it's spelled with an S, we spell it with a Z. Either way, it's an amazing country, and I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should visit Brazil right now. I don't know what you know about Brazil, what people have told you about Brazil, what you see on the news, but I'm going to give you my perspective from someone who's lived here almost 3 years about why I love this country and why you should visit right now. In fact, if you want to visit, the government is holding a contest. It's called the Rei do Rolê, the king of the party. I'll leave the link in the description below. If you want to, you can participate. I think it's like 30 days and you see a bunch of different places in Brazil, so free trip, you know, sounds good. No one gives me a free trip, but whatever. If you are Brazilian, share this with an American friend or English friend or Australian friend who might be interested in visiting Brazil. First one, okay, this is very cliche, but the beaches. Really, Brazil has some amazing beaches and it has a huge coastline. Brazil basically covers the whole South American continent. So you start in the northeast and you can go all the way to the south. Some of the best beaches in the world are in Brazil. The northeast is hot all year round, so you can take advantage of the sun anytime. And then you go more towards the south, or southeast has the iconic beaches of Rio De Janeiro. You know, you might know Copacabana or Ipanema, but also outside of the city proper, there are some beautiful beaches and islands, such as Paraty, which is a historic city, which also has a beach. There's Ilha Grande, Ilha Bela, which is actually in the Sao Paulo state, a little bit south. Maresias. There's so many beaches, I don't have enough time. A city that's definitely worth visiting is Florianopolis. It's an island in the south, great for surfing. And because it's an island, it has so many different beaches. So just in that city alone, you could find remote beaches, surfing beaches, beaches with all-inclusive hotels, really cool. And another city right near Florianopolis is called Balneário Camboriú. I'm not even sure if I said that correctly, but it's known as the Dubai of Brazil, and it has some amazing beaches and also nightlife. Definitely check it out. Fernando de Noronha too, if you have some money. It's an island beach, like kind of far off the coast. There's too many beaches to mention right now, but definitely worth visiting. Next is the Amazon. I know the Amazon has been in the news recently. I visited the Amazon. It is really an amazing place. It's not the easiest place to go as a tourist because it's not so developed for tourism, which is in a certain sense a good thing because it preserves its natural essence. I took a boat from the capital of the state of the Amazon, called Amazonas, which is Manaus, 24 hours into the middle of the jungle, and I saw some amazing things. You can see some remote villages. One thing you definitely want to check out is where the two rivers meet. The Rio Negro, or the Black River, meets the Rio Somois, or the part of the Amazon River, and they have two different colors. The Rio Negro is obviously darker, blacker, and then the Amazon or Somois is a little bit lighter, so they meet. It's amazing. Next, the people. Brazilian culture is amazing. It's unique. First of all, the people love foreigners. They love to receive foreigners. They love to show people their culture. It's a great place to go and make friends. In most countries I've traveled to, it's very difficult to make friends with the locals. In Brazil, it's hard not to make friends with the locals. Everyone wants to talk to you. They want to know about your story. They want to show you a little bit about their culture. And they have such a rich culture. It's maybe you know a little bit samba, football, but that just scratches the surface. There's so much more. And you can really only understand it by visiting. I can make a video 100% dedicated to the culture, but if I talked about that right now, it would take years. So let's move on to the next point. If you forget about the Amazon, Brazil still has some of the most amazing nature in the world. They have over 64 national parks. One of the most amazing things in the world, which I still haven't seen, is called the Lençóis Maranhenses. Basically, it's a dune beach in the northern state of Maranhão, and it has amazing natural pools and lakes. You can like ride down the sun dunes into a natural pool. It's absolutely amazing. There is a swampland called Pantanal. Another place near that is called Bonito, which literally means beautiful. There's beautiful natural caves, grottos, crystalline lakes. I haven't visited either, so you know, if anyone wants to sponsor a trip, you know, I'm trying to go, so help me out. The music. Maybe you've heard of Bossa Nova, tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl. Okay, you've heard of it, right? Frank Sinatra from my city, Hoboken. What's up, man? What's up, Frank? But it's actually sung by Tom Jobim and Mrs. Human Rights. Okay, that's too much information for you. But there are tons of musical styles in Brazil. You'd really be surprised. Bossa Nova actually is not, it's not that common. You'll hear Bossa Nova day to day. It's actually very uncommon. Samba is huge. Another form of samba called pagode. There is sertanejo, which is a style of country music. It's very popular amongst the young people. They also have like their classical sertanejo. Think of like maybe Johnny Cash versus like Tim McGraw, you know, something like that. I don't know if that resonates for you. I don't know much about American country music, to be honest. Hee-haw! There's funk, which is a music very unique to Brazil. It comes from the favelas. It tells the story of kind of the life in the favelas. Some of the lyrics are a little bit strong, a little bit explicit, but there's a lot of styles, and it certainly expresses a certain element of the Brazilian culture, and people like to dance to it. So there's so many musical styles that you could definitely listen to. MPB, there's rock. I could go on and on about Brazilian music. Actually, that should be another video. Events. Brazil has some of the most amazing events in the world. Of course, you've probably heard of Carnival, and I definitely recommend that you go to Carnival at least one time in your life. Go if you're single. I don't really think it's the best place to go if you're in a relationship, but you know, go have a good time. You know, respect the women, respect the people, but it's also a very fun and kind of carefree event. But that is just one of the events. Another famous event that takes place in their wintertime, which would be our summer, is São João, or São Juninho, because literally it's in June, and it's a little bit colder there, so they drink warm wine, they dance kind of square dance. A lot of them wear checkered shirts, and they're under this big tent. It's definitely worth seeing. Brazil has the largest Oktoberfest outside of Germany in a southern city called Blumenau in Santa Catarina, actually not too far from Florianopolis and Barra de Camboriú. It's kind of strange to imagine a German festival inside of Brazil, but it's pretty amazing. Also Parintins, which is a festival in the Amazon. It's a very folkloric cultural festival that celebrates indigenous culture. And finally, they have the biggest rodeo in the world in Barretos. There's actually tons of rodeo. Rodeo is huge in Brazil. There's Formula One, there's Rock in Rio, there's tons of events. Find one, book your trip, just do it. One thing about Brazil, it's huge. I've been here for 3 years and I've seen basically nothing. I've been to 13 states and I still have seen basically nothing. That's how big it is. It's actually, I think it's bigger than the continental United States if you don't count Alaska. But one city that's on my list is Salvador. Salvador is the cradle of black culture in Brazil. It's famous for capoeira. Zoom, 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 zoom. Capoeira, matão. Do you know the capoeira, the fighting dance? It has a lot of African culture, beautiful architectural city. They have their own carnival, which definitely rivals Rio. A lot of people say, oh, forget about Rio Carnival, go to Salvador Carnival. Maybe I'll check it out. They have these huge like trucks. They're called Trio Electrico, and they just play loud music and people go crazy. So Salvador Carnival, maybe this year. So if you want to go, maybe I'll see you there. Now, if you want to go in a different direction, you can also see European culture, especially in the southern states of Brazil. As I said, Blumenau has the largest Oktoberfest. There's a huge population of Italian and German immigrants. Some cities still speak a German or Italian dialect. If you want to go on a romantic vacation, there is called the Ruta Romântica, the romantic route, which is Canela and Gramada in a city called Rio Grande do Sul, the big river of the south. It looks like you're in a European fairy tale, but you're still in Brazil. Besides these European towns, there are also amazing colonial towns, especially in Minas Gerais. Minas Gerais is probably my favorite state. The people are so friendly, the food is great, I'll get to that in a second. But there's a specific city called Ouro Preto. It's basically the Florence of Brazil. It was the home of Brazilians' artistic renaissance. You can see some amazing colonial and Baroque churches. Near Ouro Preto, there's other cities like Mariana, Tiradentes, Diamantinas, tons of amazing places. Oh, and I forgot to say cachoeiras, waterfalls. This is a specific Brazilian tradition that I'm not sure that we do in the United States. Visit waterfalls. I've never been to a waterfall in the United States, but part of Brazilian nature is waterfalls. So you're walking on this plateau and all of a sudden you see this waterfall, definitely amazing. And finally, I couldn't leave out food. Brazil might not be known on the international scene for its food, but Brazil has some amazing food. Sao Paulo is a colonial capital. Sao Paulo is home to many Italian, Lebanese, Japanese immigrants. There's an amazing mix of culinary traditions, but also the Amazon has a very specific tradition. Minas Gerais, as I mentioned, has very specific kind of rural traditions. They make some great churrasco, and also in the south, Rio Grande do Sul is known for their churrasco, which is just beef, it's barbecue. Maybe you've been to fogo de chão, when they come to your plate and they cut the meat onto your plate. That's kind of the typical churrasco tradition. Bahia, which is Salvador is the capital of Bahia, also has some very unique food. One of the few states that likes spicy food. Generally, Brazilians don't like their food too spicy. Don't confuse it with Mexican food. And of course, the typical rice and beans, a pastel at the market, or a coxinha. If you don't know what that is, you gotta come to Brazil and find out. So I just wanted to share a few reasons why I love Brazil, why you might be interested in visiting Brazil. If you want to take part of that contest, I think that would be cool. I mean, I can't take part of it because I already know Brazil. I'm disqualified, so I have to go on my own and pay with my own money. But as I said, it's 4-1 right now, so actually like 420. So this is the best time to visit Brazil for bang for your buck. A couple years ago, it was 2-1, so you can imagine. Now is a good time, if you have dollars, if you have euros, to come visit Brazil. Muito obrigado. And whoever has never been to Brazil or wants to come again, just do it. It's really fun. Peace.